Welcome to MON Comics. My name is Jason, otherwise known as the Archivist Adrift, or the Archivist Adrift, or just Adrift if you don't want to get formal. Like a lot of people in this community, I was touched by Brandon's story and the situation that him and his family are currently going through. And I just wanted to see if there was a way that I could help out and kind of give back to this community that's been so generous and so kind to myself. And so my channel is dedicated to conserving comics. I take comics that have been well-loved, abused, beaten up, and I try to put them back together again so that they can be enjoyed for generations down the road. The difference between what I practice, which is conservation, and restoration, is that restoration is the practice of improving the look of a book, usually through non-removable processes. So that would be like applying tape or color touch to a book or trimming the edges, that sort of thing. Things that you can't easily remove or undo. Conservation, on the other hand, is much more interested in or involved in the structure of the book and trying to bring back the readability of the book without as much consideration of how the book looks. We want the book to look good if we can, but the main focus is on the ability to preserve the book. And the processes that we use are generally removable or reversible. And the reason why we want these processes to be reversible is so that if in the future there are processes that are better to use or that allow the book to have a longer life, future conservators can just remove the things that we applied or changed to the book and add those processes instead. So unfortunately, Brandon lost a number of his books, most of his books in fact, in the fire. And as someone who collects Golden Age and pre-code stuff, I know it was probably devastating to him to have lost a lot of those books. And my idea initially was to see if any of those books were salvageable, like if any of the books were maybe waterlogged or, I don't know, like maybe there was some heat damage done to them or something like that, and see if I could somehow get in there and kind of fix them up or do something to them. I wasn't sure. But when I contacted Brandon to see if anything had survived, apparently nothing did. And so I thought, well, I probably had a book around here that I could work on and send to Brandon so that he could, start rebuilding his own collection. And I have this Forbidden Worlds number 24, and it's by American Comic Group, otherwise known as ACG. And this came out in 1953. And it looks pretty good, but it actually has a number of issues that will need addressed. And so let's flip through it, see all the issues with it, and go from there. So, like I said, this book was from 1953, and you can see the date stamp for it right here. And the artwork was by an artist named Ken Bald, and he was one of the oldest living Golden Age artists who was still signing books until I think 2014. And he did most of the covers for these ACG horror books. And this book, like I said, it's pretty beat up. First of all, the cover is detached. So here are the inner wraps. And this cover is not completely split, but it's getting there. This is split, this is split. We got a little bit of attachment here that will probably get split in the wash. And this top part's not split. And yes, I said wash. We're going to do a full aqueous bath on this cover. And what that means is that I'm going to take the cover and probably the wraps and put them through a bath that involves water mixed with calcium hydroxide, which will deacidify the paper. What happens to a lot of these Golden Age books or all comic books before the modern period, is that over time the paper acidifies and that's what makes the books kind of fall apart. Modern books don't have that issue as much. Most of the paper that they're made of today are acid-free. So the interior is a little dark. I don't think we'll do any lightening to the book at all, but the deacidification process should act as a bit of a lightener as well. Before we do anything though, we'll do probably a dry cleaning. Okay, so I got the cover sitting in this photo tray, sandwiched between a type of material called Polytex, which is a porous material that allows me to handle the book while it's wet. And here I have my aqueous solution, and this is basically water with something called calcium hydroxide that'll deacidify the acids in the book, and then leave a preserve inside the book so that it'll prevent further acidification in the future. Okay, so the first rinse is really dark, and this second bath was pretty dirty as well, so a lot of acids coming out of this book. Okay, the cover is out of the bath, and looking it over and comparing it to the previous photos that I took right before, I don't see any color loss whatsoever at all, so that's great. There is color loss actually, but it all existed before I started bathing the cover. So for instance, there's color loss around this free circle here, but again, that was present before I put this in the bath. One kind of strange thing I did notice though is in the before pictures, there's this square, and I think there's like a circle or something here as well. And these were actually lighter than the surrounding bits, but after the bath, the edges of this book are actually cleaner and therefore now whiter than these splotches here. And I don't know what these are exactly. It almost looks like maybe old, like an old sticker or tape or something like that that was applied and removed. I probably could have given this cover another couple of aqueous baths, but it's good to know when to stop, and I didn't want to press my luck. You know, part of good conservation is just kind of knowing when to stop. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to prepare pulp to fill in where this void is at, this split. And to do that, basically what I do is I take paper fiber and I blend it up real fine in a blender with water and apply that pulp to this area real cleanly. And when it dries, it'll be essentially a large patch over the whole entire area. Okay, so this might have been the easiest furnish I ever put together, which is great if this works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and wet this back down, and I'm going to use some of this Japanese paper. It's called Tengujo, and I'm going to use that to patch down these little rips and tears. And I'm going to do that with something called nori, which is rice paste. And you can use wheat paste or methyl cellulose. But wheat paste is kind of a pain in the butt to make, and methyl cellulose does the job, but for covers, you kind of want something that's a little thicker and a little heavier, and this does the job better, in my opinion. So, all right, let's put this sucker down. Okay, I got the cover over here by my vacuum table, and I'm gonna go ahead and set this all up so that I can apply the sleeve cast above a vacuum that will kind of pull the pulp down. And once I'm all good with that, we'll turn it off and we'll throw it into a copy press. All right, hold on. Okay, so here's my copy press. I'll change out the paper towels every now and then as it dries, and it'll probably sit overnight. So we'll see tomorrow morning. In the meantime, let's see if I can yank out these staples. For that, I like to use this staple tool from M.O.N Comics. All right. Now, we want to mark the orientation of the staples and which goes where. So you grab some tape like so, and just go T for top, B for bottom, gently pop these staples out. You'll notice that there's these marks where the staples leave on the paper because they're pressed down. Those are called witness marks, and it allows you to figure out how to lay the legs back down, because you kind of want them to match as well as you can. That one down as well. Oops. Wow, I got part of the cover here. I wonder if I can probably lay this back onto the cover. So normally what happens when a cover detaches is that parts of the cover stay behind underneath the staple. So into the little cup it goes, and maybe I can reattach this. That'd be great. Okay, I think this wrap is pretty well flat and dry now, and let's see how it came out. I think we got a pretty good color match on that pulp there. Looks really good. Okay, cool. It looks really nice on this side as well. You can't really even tell. That's great. I do have that staple piece. It would go right here, so I think I'll go ahead and attach that a bit as well. All my tear seals look like they're holding. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this wrap. So going back over the book a little bit, I did find a little bit of color loss. I think it happened during the leaf casting actually, which is strange, but there's just a little bit of speckling on the Motor's auto repair manual over here, and just a tiny little bit of color loss on our on Roxanne's hair, just this little scrape. So that bites. I didn't want that to happen at all. But I guess it's a small price to pay for a spine that is now completely attached. And I think dirt was hiding some of these stains that were up here. But we're going to add some color back when I add this piece that came off the staple. I'm going to go ahead and patch this little tear over here as well, these two tears. I'm going to do that with a dry method that doesn't require me to get this book wet again, because I don't want to risk any more color loss. Go ahead and let those dry. Okay, this should be all set. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and size this again with gelatin sizing, and what that will do is, see how this is kind of floppy right now, it'll give it a little bit more structure, and we'll even give it a little bit of a gloss back as well. There's, it doesn't look that bad currently, but it can always look better. So here's my gelatin sizing. And I just do single strokes across the page. All right, I'll go ahead and let that dry, and then I'll do the other side. Okay, I got the first wrap in the photo tray. I'm going to wash this the same way I did the cover with this aqueous solution, which is mostly water with a little bit of calcium hydroxide, and then I'm going to keep it in for 3 minutes, and then do another bath after I rinse this out for another 3 minutes. All right. So again, like the cover, this wrap was really dirty. There's a lot of tannin in this, and that's a sign of the wrap having a lot of acids in it. So, all right, we'll go on to the next bath then. Okay, I'm going to work on the tear seals of this book. Now that it's out of the bath, out of both baths. And there's rip here, there's a rip here, and I think one over here, and I think one at the top as well. So I'm going to apply Tengujo, this Japanese paper, with a little methyl cellulose. So I have these pH strips. I'm gonna go ahead and measure the pH of one of these wraps just to see how acidic it is, and then how close we can get it to neutral. I think that's about a 3 or a 4. Okay, before applying these tear seals, let's see if we improve the pH at all. Now, we want to get towards a 7, which would be considered neutral. Just apply it the same place I did the previous one. And we are at 7. So, all right, that's great. Okay, we've got the cover out of the hot press, so let's see what it looks like now. And it looks pretty nice, except for I'm seeing some areas where the gelatin kind of came up a little bit up here. Wonder if I can polish those out. Okay, all the wraps have been cleaned, and I applied tear seals everywhere that needed them. Originally, I'd used this white Japanese paper, but it was kind of showing up too much on the wraps, and I really wanted it to blend in a little bit better. So I ended up using some of this kind of brownish or tannish looking Tengujo instead. The great thing, of course, with applying these tear seals is that you can easily remove it with just some water. What I want to do now is I want to create new staple holes in the cover because, you know, since we have our leaf cast here, it's covering up the staple holes. I didn't really do anything to these staples. Like I said, I didn't see any rust on them. I just saw a little bit of carbon, and I think they're probably good. Okay, I've got my stack in my press here, and about to bake it for about 15 minutes. Okay, this is out of the press now, and so let's see how it came out. All right, there we have it. It's not perfect, but you know, it's a lot better than it was when I started with it. So, you know, the spine's together. It looks pretty good. And yeah, you can flick through it. All the pages that had tears on it, those have been all patched up. And most of them are pretty hard to see. The leaf casting back here is, I mean, you can see it, but it's not too bad, really. There were a couple of issues that came up. For instance, it's maybe discernible on camera, but there's some weird issues. I'm not sure if it was with the sizing or what, but there's some weird gloss issues here where you can see a bit of a unevenness around this whole side of this front cover. And I tried my best to polish this out, but I just could not get it. Maybe if I had done another bath or whatnot to the book, I might have been able to get it out. But because of a little bit of the color lift that was happening, I didn't want to risk putting this book through any more trauma than I had to. And speaking of which, we did see a little bit of a color lift around here, and also a little bit here around the hair. And obviously, you don't want to see any color lift when you're working on a book. But it was a compromise between that and a split spine. So, and then there's also this weird stain here where there's some unevenness in color. I could have probably got into that a little bit and maybe evened out some of the tone here with some blue light treatment. But again, part of conservation is knowing when to kind of slow down and stop. And sometimes I have a hard time with that, trying to figure out when to just stop working on a book. But I think this is about as good as this book's going to get. It went from probably a 0.5 because of a detached split spine to possibly a 4.0 conserved. I would think maybe a little bit better. So yeah, I hope Brandon enjoys this, and it was a lot of fun working on it. And if you want to check out my channel, you can check me out on the Archivist Adrift. And thanks a lot, and I'll see you later. Bye now.